Hi, good morning, everybody. Got a cool call planned for you guys today, as you're going to get to hear from some agents, not only just agents, but top agents. I put a challenge out there in the agency WhatsApp chat for whoever wants to get coffee on me today to participate on today's battle. And we had 4 of the leading agents volunteer, which is awesome. So you guys are in for a special treat today. But what we're going to do on today's call, I'm going to have them come on and we're going to have a little Q&A first, and then we're going to dive into a battle between all of them. So we've got Sam, Aaron, Allison, and Dougie Fresh coming on. It's going to be Doug and Aaron versus Allison and Sam. So I want you guys to go to the comments or to the agency chat and put in, who are you rooting for to win right now? Are you team El Chapo and Sam, or are you team Aaron and Doug? You got to pick one. All right. So it's okay. You can upset some people. You got to pick one to cheer on. And the way it's going to work for everybody that's watching, you get to vote as to which team won the particular battle. So need a lot of participation from you guys today if we're going to make this call fun and exciting. But it's April 9th. We're going to have that production for you guys for last month wrapped up here within the next few days, and we will send it over your way. So by the 15th, you will have your production and your team's production to see how close you're on track for hitting the Scotland trip or hitting your promotions. But wanted to give Becca a huge shout out. Becca's on track to hit the Family Benefit Life trip, and she's working on another policy right now that's going to put a huge dent in that. So let's cheer her on as she's running towards hitting the Trinity Family Benefit Life's incentive this year. Guys, don't forget about that. Pick a carrier that you like and just run with them this year. So many of them offer cool incentives, from trips to bonuses, cash bonuses. Maybe you're more of a cash person and not so much of a traveler. A lot of them offer incentives. Pick one and just run with them this year so that you can hit those extra trips or cash bonuses in addition to Scotland. So awesome job so far this week, guys. Let's give Kaylee, Shamika, and Jessica a huge shout out. They did an awesome senior seminar yesterday, which I love seeing the results from that. It takes a lot of effort to coordinate that, so hats off to them. Also want to give Justin a big shout out. He's been doing a bunch of senior seminars, but he's also been doing festivals. I know he's got a festival that he's been working on. So nice work to you guys, thinking outside the box and just adding to your business in addition to leads. So cool things happening here at the agency. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on Sam first. Sam, you are added to the feed. We've got Aaron jumping in here. Aaron, welcome. Got El Chapo. Look at that. Allison is just asking to get another ticket on her phone. She's already got 2 so far doing conference calls while she's driving, but we're going to add Dougie Fresh too. Doug's a hard one to beat. He just usually wins these competitions. So I appreciate you guys for jumping on here and volunteering. But the way we're going to do this, so we've got Doug and Aaron versus Sam and Allison. I asked them each to come up with 4 objections to ask their opponent. So the way that it'll work, all right, let's say we have Doug ask Sam an objection, then Sam can ask Doug an objection, and you guys get to vote as to who do you think did better at overcoming that round. All right, so you got to go to WhatsApp and vote for how that works. But before we jump into that, I'm going to take advantage of having these top agents on here with me. So Doug, I'm going to come to you first, man. Let's just give an agent, what's been a highlight of your week? Something like, maybe a tough objection you overcame. What's something you ran into this week that you think another agent could benefit from hearing about? Doug, I think you're muted, man. I can't hear you. It could be me. Can you guys hear him? Sam, can you hear him? No? Okay, so it's Doug's computer. I don't know. Maybe he's tricking us. Maybe he's being like a mime right now or whatever those things are called, right? Doug, I'll give you a minute, man. I'll come back to you. Sam, I'm going to go to you next. So, hey, shout out to Sam for having an awesome month in March. I know she's come off like a record month. But, Sam, what's something you ran into this week that you think an agent could benefit from hearing?
This week, if we're being transparent, I ran into a mental mind block essentially. And when that happens, my biggest tip is reach out to your upline. It's been a hard week, and the hardest door to get out of is your own. And I'm just grateful that I've held myself to that every day. So that's the highlight of my week. But just don't be afraid to reach out when you need that extra encouragement, that extra, motivation or whatever the case may be.
Love that tip, Sam. Shout out to you for overcoming that. And I think, hey, the tough weeks are the ones that show us what we're made of as agents, right? It's not about the easy weeks, it's about the tough ones. So super proud of you, Sam. Aaron, I'm gonna go to you next. I don't think Aaron ever has a bad week. Just every day she's just posting policies left and right. But Aaron, what's been a highlight of your week?
That's not true, Ryan. I do have bad weeks. Even if my bad weeks are not the same as others, I have bad weeks. I actually have two big highlights. Yesterday, I told Alicia, I said, Alicia, I think that yesterday was the dream day for an insurance agent. I went to this client's house or this lead's house, and I couldn't get out of the car at first, and there was a big pit bull there laying right there on his ramp, and I was like, "Oh!" So I
Hmm.
got out. He was just as friendly as he could be. Um, I knocked on the door, and the man comes out. And he says, "What is he doing in my front yard?" He goes, "He belongs in the backyard." Well, I didn't think anything of it because he still had his whole entire lead attached to him. So he went and put him up, and he's like, "Come on inside." And he's like, "I just got home from dialysis, so you got me just in time." And I was like, "Oh, great."
Mm-hmm.
Um, how often do we have a client on dialysis that has no other health conditions whatsoever? He took one blood pressure medication.
That's
Um,
crazy.
I know. So I put him with trans. Day one immediately approved him. Got the email right there while I was sitting in the house. It was like the best feeling because he knew. He was like, "I'm gonna have a 2 year wait. I know I need it, but I just put it off." Day one coverage right then.
That's
I left that
awesome.
house. Got an email from Family Benefit that a client that I know I put this in the chat, but a client and I, that Mindy and I, when I was training Mindy, we wrote in November, and he started his payment in November. He made a payment in December, and he passed in January. And it's only the beginning of April, and Family Benefit has already paid that claim.
Wow. So how
So
quick of a turnaround was that? That was just a few weeks for the
yeah,
contestability.
I didn't get the form for the agent form
Mhm.
for the claim until late January, early February, and I filled it out same day and sent it back in, and they've already paid out. So not even 2 months. I mean, or two
Wow.
months. So I was like, man, Family Benefit might be the way to go. So
Yeah, that's what you find with that carrier is they really do care about the clients and the agents. If you call them, they answer the phone. If the client calls, they're not sitting on hold,
yeah,
for 3 hours. So they're a great company. So I love that. I love that they paid that claim out so quick.
me too.
That's awesome. And now let's talk about that Transamerica. So dialysis, no other health conditions. What rating did they give him?
Standard.
That's awesome. So, guys, don't forget about that. Sometimes you roll up into a house, right? You think dialysis, you automatically think guaranteed issue, but you don't have to do that. There's a handful of companies we have now that will take that. So that's awesome, Aaron. Thanks for sharing that. What about you, El Chapo? What's been something this week you think an agent could benefit from hearing?
Well, can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay. I didn't connect it to my phone today. I didn't want to get a ticket. Um, I I don't know. I think sometimes, especially, I've had some stuff going on, and I was out of town, so I feel like my schedule's been super messed up, and this week I was like, this is the week I'm getting things back in straight. I don't have nothing going on. But then you got 15,000 emails, 15,000 clients calling. So sometimes I get in my head like I need to be in the field, but I also need to take care of this to do list. So I feel like I said, okay, to-do list first, then I'm going to get in the field. And in the midst of doing the to-do list, I've got clients calling me, wanting to get their policy back on the books that had lapsed. And I don't know, I just feel like you just stick with the plan, stick to the schedule, and everything falls into place, at least for me. So
That's so true. That's a key, especially especially going into Monday, right? Monday is like the day. Monday and Tuesday are the days where it's like, oh, I got all this follow up to do as an agent. But if you roadmap it out, plan it out, it's so much easier. So great tip there, Allison, Aaron, and Sam. Doug, let's go back to you, man. Let's see if this is working. There it is.
Yeah.
I was beginning to think maybe Sam or Allison like hijacked your computer because they were afraid to compete with you today. So they were trying to shut your mic off on you.
No. I haven't had any like really serious objections to deal with other than just personal stuff. And it goes back to what you were just talking about, like on Monday. I generally don't do like back office stuff on Mondays because every other agent out there does it. So the carrier, the hold times are way higher on Mondays than any other day. So I would always focus new business on Mondays, period, and let everything else go till Tuesday. But it was just, personal stuff that I had to deal with on Monday. And then I have some death claims from people, and the spouses are calling me, and I just had and it just took up my entire morning till almost like 1 o'clock. So at that point, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and just change gears. And I made an exception, and I went ahead and took care, instead of trying to go out there and push somebody into buying something, because I feel pressure from not having enough time for the day. I just went ahead and just sat back and took care of my back office and made some calls. And yeah, the extra hold time was frustrating, but I got it knocked out of the way. So instead of, I've utilized my time, I think, more efficiently like that. So yeah, it was just a personal thing to overcome. And sometimes you have to make those adjustments on the fly on a daily basis. You have a plan. And Allison, everybody, I agree that sticking to your plan as much as possible. But when there's a curveball thrown at you, well, sometimes you just got to, adjust your swing.
You got to ride the wave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, those hold times, it's no joke. Some of these carriers, they got to get better at that. That's been one of these things, right? So I always do the call back feature on some of these, but yeah, no, that's awesome, guys. I appreciate you giving that quick intro. Just daily struggles, right? Wins of an agent. I think everyone can relate to everything you guys said. I know every agent in the company can relate to those. So let's kick off this battle now. So I love that you guys are on here because I know you guys are all really good at overcoming some objections. So I'm going to let Doug go first because Doug is the only guy here representing. So he gets to ask the objection first. So we've got Doug and Aaron versus, what's your team name? Doug and Aaron, you got to come up with a cool team name. What do you think?
Aaron, you're the creative one.
No. You got to go first. So you come up with it.
I don't know.
We're the.
I love putting you guys on the spot.
I don't know.
Think on it. Think on it. Maybe it'll come up. Maybe. What about you, Sam, Allison? You guys got a team name picked out?
We're gonna go with
the
yin and yang. The baddies.
The baddies. Okay, so we've got the baddies.
My daughter said that at practice last night.
The baddies. I don't know what a baddie is, but we'll go with that one. We'll go with the baddies. What about Aaron, Doug? Y'all got one yet? The goodies? You guys gonna be the goodies?
No.
We'll think on it.
We're so millennials, Ryan.
We'll think on it. All right, Doug. So who do you want to ask the objection to? You can pick Sam or Allison.
It doesn't matter. Mo. Allison, you got your Mo. So
all right. Mo. All right, Doug. What's your objection for?
Okay. You are at the door, and the client is or potential client Oh, my kids already have a policy on me, and yeah, they already got all that taken care of. I don't need your help.
Oh, that's awesome, Doug. I'm so glad that your kids love you so much that they've got that straightened out for you. It's just my job to kind of go over all these benefits and just make sure that you're in the best place, and just kind of go over all your different options. And we can definitely talk to them and let them know and make sure that what they have is the best for you also. Let me go turn my car off real quick and I'll be right back.
Good objection. I like that one. All right, everybody in the WhatsApp chat or in the comments, don't forget you got to vote on the winner. So make sure you're paying attention on who you think's going to win. All right, so now Allison, you got to ask Doug an objection.
Okay. You're in the presentation and you just showed the 3 different options, and the objection is, Lord, I can't afford none of that. Do you know how much eggs and milk cost? I just can't afford that.
Okay. Well, can I preface this by saying that I don't get that objection because before I give them the options, I ask them what their budget number is, and I asked them what kind of budget number is something between 80 and 100. Is that in your budget? And no. Okay. Well, how about 60 to 80? Or 40 to 60. I keep going down until I find something in their budget, and I show them something in those price ranges. So I don't get that objection. If I did get that objection, I would just pivot and I said, okay, that's fine. None of those will fit your budget. I understand that. So I would pivot at that point. What kind of budget number are you talking about? What could you afford? And get them to start talking to me and tell me what they can afford. Then I find something can fit. If it's $10, $20, whatever I can find to get them started on something, I get them started on something. And then later down the road, a year from now, I might get upgrade them to something else.
Strong. You know, I used to get hit with that objection when I used to try to do the death benefit first. You know, hey, here's 15, 30, whatever. I can't afford any of those. But when we pivoted and started going, hey, can you afford 100 to 150, 70 to 80, 80? You just don't get those price objections that much. So that was a good one, though. All right, team, go to WhatsApp. Who do you think won, Allison or Doug? I'm going to keep the voting open for like 10 seconds. So you got to go to WhatsApp or to the comments, whatever is easier for you to post that. I know some of you guys get kicked off when you go from YouTube to WhatsApp, but drop it. Who do you think won, Doug or Allison, for round 1? Got some people voting. We got 1 for Doug, 2 for Doug, Allison. Alicia says a tie. It can't be a tie. You got to pick Doug. So far, we're 3 for Doug. They're going to keep going. Someone's going to have to keep count. I can't keep up with you guys. I'm going to lose count here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. I'm shutting the voting off at Mandy. So we've got Allison, Allison, Allison. 4 for Allison. 1, 2, 3. 4 for Doug. So it's a tie. Then Scott came in and said Allison. So we'll give 1 point to Allison. That was good, though, for both of you guys. I'm going to need a scorekeeper there in WhatsApp. All right, next round up, we've got Aaron asking Sam. Well, we'll pivot. We'll let Sam go first this time. So, Sam, you get to ask Aaron the objection.
Okay, so my objection is when you are showing options and closing, the company objection. I don't know much about that company. I've never heard of them before. How can I trust that it's legit? So on and so forth.
Honestly, I don't get this objection much either, like Doug said, but
It's because you
this
guys
is
are
where-
pros. All of you on this call, you usually
No,
beat
I'm
all
not
the
gonna say
objections
that,
before they
but
come up.
this is where you really should know your carriers. Like Sika, people are like, I haven't ever heard of that. Well, have you ever heard of People's Bank? They've been around for 70 years. It's a branch from that company. Very good company. Just know your basic information. Royal Neighbors. Royal Neighbors, they were, Miss Johnson, they were founded by women. Isn't that amazing? They were founded in 1894. Wonderful company. They do a lot of work with giving to charities and just name off all the benefits that they have. You know, Transamerica. Oh, come on, Miss Johnson. Everybody's heard of Transamerica. They've been around. Just know your information. Pull it up for them. It takes a second to key in the website and pull it up on your iPad and show it to them. But, you know, I just know the very basics of my carriers. Just know those history things of your carriers, and you should be fine. I can spit out dates of the companies. You know, they've been around this long. They do.
It's
this,
because
they do
all
this.
these trivia games we play, right, Aaron? You got all those dates
That's right.
memorized?
Yep.
That's from what it
You
is.
taught them all to me, Ryan.
That's funny. All right, we got it. That's a good one. I run into that. You know, you also get the one, right, where you're presenting a company and they had a negative experience with a carrier and they're like, oh, I didn't like them. You know, my mom had that one and they didn't pay or whatever. So it's a good thing to know about the facts, the stats to go with them. One thing I like saying with that, Sam, is, oh, I've never heard of that carrier. I instantly say, you haven't? Oh my gosh, you're going to love them. Like, I just pivoted into a positive, you know, you're going to love that company. This is why. And then I go into like what Aaron was saying about all the history behind them. So that's pretty cool. Aaron, what objection do you got from Sam?
I'm going to go with, at the door. The lead says, which one did you do, Doug?
The covered by the kid, or my kids got coverage on me.
Okay. So okay, we're gonna switch to at the end when you get to the banking information and they say, oh, I don't allow anyone to draft from my account. I've been scammed too many times. I've had to close out my account too many times, get too many new cards. I don't allow anyone to draft anything from my account.
Oh, I feel like I do pretty good with banking objections, so I
Me
don't really
too.
get that one that much. Yeah, that one stumps me a little bit. Usually at that point, I kind of just slow down a little bit, build a little bit more connection, more trust, and really just tell them like, hey, Miss Betty, listen, this is your life insurance that we're talking about. This is your legacy plan. I promise you, this is, legit. They're not going to hack you or anything crazy. It's kind of an extra security measure, right? To make sure that if anything happens, if, the check gets lost in the mail or an extra bill comes out on the card, your life insurance gets paid first because it automatically pulls out. I've got your routing number here. Can I just get you to confirm the last few digits of your account? And then we kind of just roll into it, I would say. Just build more trust, more credibility. Explain the importance of why that first payment has to be through a bank account, the legitimacy behind it.
Those were two good ones. Who do you guys think? All right, I'm going to recap that one as you guys are voting. So go to the WhatsApp chat, vote. Somebody keep counting because I always get in trouble after this. I miss someone's vote or something. Somebody keep counting there, but go to WhatsApp. Who do you think won, Sam or Aaron? On the bank account objection, I loved when I used to get that because it gave me an opportunity to solidify why it needed to be done, just like Sam said. So every time, if I ever even get a hint that someone is going to hit me with I don't do automatic bank draft, right? I see their checkbook sitting on the kitchen table with all their bills. Clearly they write checks, right? All that stuff. So before I even ask for banking, I'm going to say, hey, look, Miss Betty, I know you're probably like me, you like writing checks to pay your bills because I actually do that, believe it or not. I write checks for most of our bills still. I just like seeing it, right? So I'll say, hey, Miss Betty, I know you're probably like me, probably like writing checks or money orders, but look, with your life insurance, there's a safety provision on this. And when you pay it monthly, the carriers actually require you to have your bank send the money for you. Same as if you were to send a check, they're just going to send it on your behalf. That way, if you're ever in the hospital, coma, accident, and you're physically unable to pay your bill, you don't lose your coverage. You would be shocked at how much money, billions of dollars every year, goes unpaid because of situations like that. So I just need to verify that information to get it set up for you quick. Go get your bank statement or a voided check. I say that every time before I ask for banking info. Like I never say, hey, what's your routing and account number? I always say that line before I ask for banking. And I don't think I've ever got hit with a bank account objection since doing that, other than they can't find it, you know, like we got to drive to the bank or something. But those were two good ones. Who do you guys think won? We've got, dang, I lost my place. I guess I'm just bad at keeping track here. We got 1 for Aaron, 2 for Aaron, 1 for Sam. Alicia, it's a tie. Her votes are void. They don't count. No ties. Sam, all right, we got 2 for Aaron, 2 for Sam, 3, 4, Sam, Aaron. I think Sam took that one. Y'all correct me, but so far we got Team Baddies with 2. We're going to keep going. Let's see if Team Goodies can catch up here. All right. Who's up next? Doug, you got to ask. Let's pivot now. Doug, you ask Sam an objection, and then we'll do Aaron and Allison to wrap up the call.
All right. I'll give you, it's another one at the door.
Okay.
Yes, someone came by here last week and we took care of all of that. Everything is good. Yeah, I'm good. I don't. Yeah. Thank you for coming by.
Hey, that's perfect, Mr. Doug. You're actually making my job so much easier. It means I'm not going to be here that long. Let me just go turn my car off and grab my things, and I'll be right back. I literally just spit them my door approach.
It was strong. It's hard to be. It's if I could give everyone a tie, I'd give everyone a tie. Y'all are doing good. But all right, Sam, ask Doug an objection.
Okay, so Doug, we're getting ready to show options and prices, right? And I want a $150,000 term policy, but you know medically that I'm not going to qualify for that. So you're showing me final expense plans, but I'm kind of giving you an objection of, oh, well, I can go here and get 150,000, so on and so forth. How would you object that?
I hear what you're saying. So could you tell me again why is it you were looking for the 150,000? I mean, the 100,000 or that large policy?
Yeah, so I just want to make sure, you know, my kids are set up, you know, the grandkids that are to come. I just really want to build a good generational legacy. And I know I'm not going to be around for another 30 years, so it's okay.
Right. And so you and of course how old are you?
I'm 57.
You're 57. You're 57 years old. So when I explain the term policies, this is another objection I don't ever get because I explain all the different types of policies. So I'm gonna have to do this one just off the top of my head. I would find out why you want it, and then I would show you what the options are again with a term policy versus a whole life policy, and I would cover the fact that the underwriting involved with a term policy, because it's a much larger policy, is a little bit more strict. There's a lot more things. And given your current conditions, there's a 90% chance that they won't approve you. So, you know, we can try to submit the application if you want to, but just in my professional opinion, it won't be approved. Now, if you try to go down the street anywhere else to go, you know, based on the conversation I've already had with you, you're not going to do that anyway, because I've already thoroughly explained the difference in term, whole, and universal. And yeah, I don't know how to answer that one, to be honest with you.
That was good. That was a good one. Hey, it's a tough objection. If you guys are getting this objection, chances are you're walking yourself into it by asking them how much coverage they want. If you ever ask somebody how much they want, they're always going to tell you more than is usually realistic, right? Especially if you're talking to somebody with a bunch of health conditions. Like, you do not want to ask them how much coverage they want, because you know, yes, they could get 150, but it's going to be multiple whole life plans bunched together. It's going to be $1,000 a month, and it's just not realistic, right? So But that's a good way to come back. But just like Doug said, you got to be careful not walking into that one. So,
I
all right, where
actually
do we
had
leave
that
off?
not too long ago with he's 72 years old, and he was adamant about wanting a term policy. And then
Yep.
once I sat down and explained the difference in the policies to him, he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't want that." So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah. Sometimes people that are doing that, they see these TV commercials, 150,000 for $9.99 or whatever. They don't understand.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to say to people is, look, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. If you're 72, do you really think you're going to give you 150 grand for $15 a month? Like, no, so people can relate to that. But we are, okay, where'd we leave off? You guys both went, right? Yeah, you both went. All right, we need to vote. Go to WhatsApp and vote. As you guys are voting, we're going to pivot next. So, Allison, you could ask Aaron an objection, and then Aaron, you'll ask her one to wrap up the call. Oh, I think we just lost Allison. She just went black on us. There she is. But you're muted. Hey, your microphone's muted.
Can you hear me?
I got you now. Yeah.
I just had a client call me and my phone went absolutely berserk. I was like, okay, so I'm asking the objection first.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my gosh, these objections. Aaron, what kind of objection you want? You want a door?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is so hard because
I know.
I don't give anyone any time to prepare. I'm just like, hey guys, this is what we're doing on the call 10 minutes before we do it.
I don't want people to think that, I don't get objections, but I don't get objections, so it is hard. But now in the beginning, yes, I got objections, but that's been years ago. So it's just something that you learn through. So you don't.
I got one. Hey, Allison.
I'm going to give you. Yeah.
Hey, give her a door object. Give her a door objection. Someone's sick. Come back another time. Can we book an appointment?
Okay. So at the door, shoot, I'll give you two. Like, I don't feel really good right now, and I thought that was like a form for me to donate my body to science. That's why I filled that out. But I got the flu right now, and I can't talk.
Oh, Miss Johnson, I hate that you feel bad. I'm so sorry. There's so much going around right now. We can sit out here on the porch. I don't mind sitting on the porch with you so we can get this taken care of. It was not a form to donate your body to science. But if you want to talk about that, we certainly can, because there's still some expenses for your family that they accrue along the way with that after the fact. So let me go turn my car off and get my bag, and we can sit right here on the porch. You might need some fresh air anyway.
Okay, let me get my blanket.
That was good. All right, Aaron, what do you got for Allison?
Let's go with, we can go at the door again. I know we've probably done this one a many a times. Well, my husband's not home right now, and we like to make all our decisions together. So, we've done this before. I think we're good. So since he's not home, just you can just mark us off. We don't need it.
That's a good one. That one, you get that one a lot.
Well, no worries. I understand. My husband, he likes to be in the know of everything. I let him think that he makes all the decisions, but we really know that us women do. Why don't we just go ahead and run through everything? That way, whenever he gets home, we can talk about a good time, and we can come back and do it again, and we'll have everything already together and ready to go for him. So let me turn my car off real quick, and we'll run through everything and get it straightened out, and then we'll come back and do it with him. I'll be right back.
That was pretty good. All right, y'all, go to WhatsApp and vote. Going back through, we've got, I think Sam won the last one. We have one for Doug, 3 for Sam, Who do you guys think? I think Team Batty won it though, because I don't think there's enough points to come back. So hey, hats off to you guys. You win the bragging rights, but I appreciate all of you for jumping on the call and going through those. Everybody gets coffee on me. So I'm going to Apple Pay you guys, except for Doug. Doug's the only true warrior with the Android phone still. So Doug will Cash App you some money for some coffee. But everyone's making fun of me for being an old man writing checks. How's this for old man? Check out my thermos that I bring to the office. This is like the all-time coffee machine right here. But
That's like the original Stanley right there.
that's the original. When everyone was going out and like paying $100 for those pink ones, I had the OG right there. But appreciate you guys for jumping on here. Hey guys, listen to the objections. Go back and listen to how I think my biggest takeaway from this call, and every one of the agents on here is a veteran agent. You've heard them all say they don't really get these objections. Why is that? It's because they beat them before they become an objection. They beat them before they become an issue. They see it, right? What's about to get thrown at them, and then they take it off the table. So as you guys are out there, you're on the phones today presenting, try to do that. If someone's talking to you about how they have money issues and everything's so expensive, well, you know you're going to get a price objection. So when you go to present the pricing, do it like Doug says. Hey, I know money's tight right now for everybody. Do you think you could swing this amount to that amount, this amount to that one, right? If somebody answers their door in their blankie like Allison and they're coughing up a storm, they're probably going to hit you with the I don't feel good, come back objection. So be ready to beat those things. But Sam, Aaron, Allison, Doug, thank you guys for volunteering today. I loved hearing from all of you, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Let's go have a big second half of this week, and we will be back here on Friday.